Right, Monday the 6th of January. I think I've gotten an epiphany, but it's difficult to tell when it's nigh on it. Disappointment. Right, we only did a situation report a few days ago, but as we had like close to 36 hours of rain, sort of I thought we'd have a look at what the flooding's like, particularly as I did some remedial work on my plot on Thursday or Friday, to see whether it made any difference. All the usual places getting flooded, maybe a bit more than the previous two times this winter. I did something a bit rash or stupid on Friday. I took away the netting over the broad beans. I think I've sort of like given up, and if they get eaten by the pigeons, and they get eaten up by the pigeons, but we'll find out. Okay. So before I took it away, there were these two broad beans that had turned blue, and now they've turned black. So I don't know whether that was frost damage. That's situation normal. So some of these broad beans are still standing, so I'm not quite sure how many we had up to start off with. And I'm going to be removing this netting as well. So that's the area that was flooded, and you can still see it's a bit flooded over there by the wheelbarrow, and on this side as well. But it's difficult to tell whether it's less flooded or not, because the grass cuttings rather hide it. So that's another area flooding there. It floods along this edge here. Going back to this edge, I was looking at this last week, and I think where my beds are now, they're like a good 3 inches or so above the path. Now before, they would have been, when I first got the plot, they would have been slightly below the path, and I've had two efforts at raising that path. I probably didn't actually raise it by all that much, so at least I am actually raising the soil a bit. The Hugelkultur mound is nearly finished. I've just got another half hour to go on it. So this always gets flooded as well, and this. Before these raised beds got put in here, I always joked that this was a a watercress bed. So I've taken the covers that are over the top of the, presumably that's garlic, or I think it's onion sets rather than garlic. So they're coming up nice. So once I finish that Hugelkultur mound, it'll be a bit colder, so that will firm up the ground a bit. And also, all I'm working on is that soil that's on the weed control sheet. So if I'm standing on the weed control sheet, that should reduce how muddy I get. So after I've completed it, I then need to start mulching it. So I've got 3 sources of mulch. One is the grass on that path, because no one ever cuts it. And then the second would be up by the water bin. And the third place, which you can't see, is there's a communal area with some fruit trees, and that's got lots of grass growing there, so I could use that. I think more generally my plans have firmed up, so this is all predicated on me. I work Saturdays and Sundays, So Mondays I tend to be a bit tired, or I concentrate on catching up on things like housework and washing up and washing and shopping and stuff. But now that I've nearly come to the end of the allotment, so this wheelbarrow will give an indication of the rain we've had, but what you've got to do is because the catchment area around the top is larger than the area that is collecting it. So we haven't really had 5 inches or so of rain. That's like an exaggeration. It'll be more like 3 inches that we've had since Friday. Actually, I think there was a little bit of water in there before, so we might have only had 2 inches of rain. So I work Saturdays and Sundays, and I've been to the gym this morning, and I'm going to be going to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Monday, I'd like to start planting things, sowing things, rather than planting. So, because that's a nice, easy job that I can do when I'm tired. So, I'll be working my back garden on Mondays and Fridays. Wednesday, I quite often have a woofing appointment, which is sort of like I concentrate on. And so, on the allotment plot, I'll mainly be coming here Tuesdays and Thursdays. But the thing is, this plot is sort of like, in quotation marks, nearly finished. So after I finished that Hugelkultur mound and started doing grass cuttings, all I've got left to do is tidy things up by just taking them home, and then start sowing some more cover crops. Although it doesn't seem much point doing cover crops at the moment when for the next week or so the maximum temperature is going to be 3 or 4 Celsius, so there's no rush for that. So so I had to do this situation report, because whenever there's a flooding or a storm or wind damage, I sort of like regard it like a allotment porn. Like, you have to go and see what it looks like. You can't help yourself. Okay, so that's the end of the report for today. I can definitely see some garlic coming up. And right on the edge here, this like last week, there was onions starting to come up, onion sets. But I've sort of like covered them over with the grass cuttings, so you can't really see them now. Although I can see some at the bottom end there. Okay, so see you in a few days' time.